Come take a look at the largest model in the history of ever. Today, we have a Warlord Titan.
Spiky bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. Rob Baer with you again today. And it's done. It's in the books. Stick a fork in it. We have finished the assembly of the Warlord Titan. Now this thing is a behemoth. We've got all of the weapon options, so we're going to show you, we're going to switch those out, show you all sorts of neat stuff there. But man, let me tell you what, this is an amazing kit to put together. It tested all of my hobby prowess. I worked out all my hobby muscles on this one. From working with resin, washing resin, bending resin, magnets, glue, wooden dowels, how to use all of the tools in my hobby toolbox to get this bad boy to go together. So let's take a look at the weapon options and how they slot in. So as far as weapons go, this thing pretty much is loaded out with everything that's available currently from Forge World. We've got the triple blasters on the top, of course magnetized, switched out with the Apocalypse missile launchers if need be. Now these bad boys right here, I used a 3/8 inch diameter magnet, which you can check out in the tutorial video that I'm sure will be, if not already up, definitely coming soon. In the center here, believe it or not, this whole cavity inside this Titan is hollow. Well, there goes my armor plates. You're probably wondering why one leg had armor and one didn't anyways. Well, I'm about to show you. So we used wooden dowels to pin the head in here because you couldn't use magnets into a cavity that was literally bigger than most model kits themselves. And then this little top piece actually comes off and can be attached so that you can paint the inside after or while you're attaching it and working on the rest of the model here. Now, as far as switching out weapons go on the actual arms, we use the system of magnets. It's also known as magic. There's 3 3/8 inch diameter magnets embedded in each one of these joints right here, which correspond to the side forks, or arm forks, or arm joint forks, whatever you want to call them. There's actually little tin plates in here that hold the magnetic force while there's tension from the forks themselves. And then I put a magnet up in the top here as well to kind of hold it all together. Because this, believe it or not, is an enormously huge chunk of resin. Once I put this together, I was like, well, we got to add more magnets because this thing is huge. But it was enough. Once you slide all the way up in the top, it was definitely enough to hold it. Now you can still pose it and stuff, like if somebody's rolling up on you, you can move it down or move it up. And then you can also slot in the fist, as I like to call it, the Warhound or the Warlord Fister. And this bad boy is pretty neat, so you can be like, rock 'em sock'em robots, rap, rap, rap. It's the coolest thing ever in the history of ever. So you get that point there, all those weapons switch out, and of course if Forge World comes out with any more exciting options for this thing, we can slot them right in. As far as the waist joints go, like how the torso attaches to the legs, I used a 1/4 inch wooden dowel, drilled it out, drilled it up into this. I haven't attached it yet because whoever's going to paint this probably needs to glue it down and kind of make that final determination where they want the force to kind of distribute down the legs here. You'll notice that it is a little, it's a slightly wobbly because all the parts aren't on it, and there's some pieces at the legs or the ankles and the feet that need to be attached, and I'm going to show you that next because I got this little armor plating system out that I wanted to show you. But while I got you up here, as you can imagine, I'm a one-person operation right now. I don't have a cameraman, so I got it on a tripod. I'm trying to show you guys all this stuff. I apologize, it's not more fluid and dynamic as I normally like, but these are the types of videos that you don't really see, and I got to put this bad boy in the mail here shortly. So as far as the shoulder armor plating goes, it forms like this little turtle kind of assembly of the plates slot into those big shoulder area, those big shoulder harnesses, and then that one right there in the front, this one slots into. It kind of forms a big, just like a big turtle shell almost, around it, and then there's some other armor plates that go underneath here in a couple of spots, and all of these guns and everything move around. This almost, I think this move, no, it doesn't move 360. But here you can see what I like to call the poop deck, for more reason than one, where you can put a little model. That door doesn't work. There is nothing in there but air. And back here, you've got the point defense twin link las cannon mounts to go pew pew at the bad guys if they happen to land up there. So that's all the exciting stuff from the waist up. Now let's show you some cool things down below. Oh hey, didn't see you there. Checking out the Warlord's feet. You can see this really interesting armor plating system they have going on here, right? So basically these pegs lock in and each one of the armor plates attached to it. Now, like I said, this is, you're gonna use every tool in your hobby arsenal on this bad boy. I had to heat up and mold each one of these plates into their individual positions, making sure that the curvature was right and it looked just so, because they came pretty much crushed in like distorted shapes. Like pretty much, we'll just call it shapes. They came in shapes from Forge World, and that would have never worked. So it's best to heat them up, bend them now before you get paint on them, and then that, you can't heat up parts with paint on it. That's just silly. Who would do that? You have to be a silly person. Up here on the thigh, we got some thigh plates, and these lock in pretty easily. Those are really neat as well. Now you start to see the whole superstructure taking form here. Now these little ankle, I'm gonna call them ankle pistons, are the parts that pretty much determine whether your Warlord like keeps standing up on the battlefield, because not only do these glue in separately, and you probably want to wait and do these last, but what happens is they slot in right here and they help distribute the weight of the top down. So the best thing to do is pull the Warlord forward to where the weight is evenly distributed straight down, i.e. he's not leaning back, and then glue these pieces around the base of the foot. This is actually upside down. And then glue these pieces around the foot itself, because that lends extra support to the weight, takes the load off, and also distributes it down through the toes itself. So the force is coming down, and hopefully, you know, it's enough to keep it from toppling over backwards or forwards or anything like that. It's very important. Whoever's gonna paint this is gonna have to line it up and glue it down just so. And then you come in over top of it with the final plate, which really kind of finishes the whole assembly there. And now you start seeing this big armored Goliath just kind of walking across the table between the turtle armor up top and the leg armor down below. And of course he's got some cock armor. Where's that big cock armor piece? That thing's crazy big. Not it. Well, it was in here. There's a little, I'm not even joking. There is literally, here, let me show you. There's literally a box of armor plates for this thing. It's a complete box full of those. Here it is right here. So you can really, oh no, that's the Gorget. Oh well. I don't know where it is. I mean, I'm sure it's in here. Oh, is this it? This is it. Boom. Patience is a virtue. So there it is. Check that out. You can kind of get the idea how the other leg would work or look and everything like that. So an amazing project, a very detailed kit from Forge World. I cannot wait to pack this thing up and see the paint job that's gonna go on this particular model here. Overall, this was an amazing project that I definitely relish being a part of. It took a little long to get it together, but it was a very challenging and rewarding project at the same time. And I tell you what, I can't wait to build the next one. So that's it for this one, folks. Thanks for hanging in there with me on this fantastic Warlord Titan showcase. We will have a tutorial up on the channel as well. If it's not out already, it will be out shortly on how to assemble all the gotchas, all the lessons learned, so you don't mess up your model. You can watch me mess up this one, but then fix it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, omissions, clarifications, comments, please leave it below and we will try to answer them all.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos,